It's time, let's make some soap. Hopefully, you guys can hear me all right, because my camera's a little bit further away than usual, so we'll see. So if the sound is really bad, let me know. I'm probably going to be turning this sound down. Where does this go? At some point too, because I'm going to be mixing some stuff. It's going to get a little bit loud. Just so you guys are aware. I put that in the right direction. But yeah, we're gonna make soap. I'm excited. It's been a long while since I've made soap, so I'm excited to get back into it. I do mostly resin on here, if you're new. But we're gonna do soap today. I'm still deciding kind of on a scent. Normally I'm that person that just grabs a fragrance and uses just the plain fragrance. Oh, why is this all? This should fix that. Usually I just grab a fragrance, but I'm gonna try mixing some things, I think. Because I want to do like a Feywild soap, and so I feel like that should be kind of like florally maybe, but maybe also kind of sweet-ish, but maybe kind of woodsy. So we're going to go for something that's maybe somewhere in the middle there. Maybe mostly woodsy, but like woodsy and florally with like a little bit of kind of sweetness in there. I think that's kind of my plan. So I have like Lily of the Valley, which is a good like kind of floral scent. I have, these are fragrance oils, not essential oils, so they have different names. This one's called Alpine Frost, and this one smells very it's very pine scented. It has a very pine scent to it. And then I have a couple other ones here. This one's cedarwood, and it just kind of smells smoky. It reminds me of like the just the like liquid smoke that people add to meat, which to be honest I'm not a huge fan of, but I feel like it kind of adds to the woodsy sort of smell. And then this one's kind of like a little bit more sweet. So I was thinking maybe a mix of this. I was debating adding some other like fruit scent, but I think maybe the sweetness of that last one there will be good. I'm just gonna set these up over here for now. Put those away later. And then I got a bunch of colors. So my plan, I do have a plan. Kind of got to have a plan going into making soap. I already have my lye water and my oils over here. Been warming up my oils and letting my lye water cool down, because you want them about the same temperature. But we'll give this a couple minutes, see if anybody shows up. I'm gonna set these off to the side for now. But let me give you kind of a basic rundown of my sort of plan. I'm thinking I'm going to do a dirty pour, which is something that I've done with resin quite often. And that's where you take all of the different colors that you want to do and you put them in the same container. Oh, hi Omar! We're making soap! But I'm going to try doing, I think, a dirty pour with some, like, kind of greens. I'm thinking maybe... Oh, why, thank you. Since I'm not working with resin, I figured I'd dress how I like to dress. Yeah, usually I'm in like a loose sweater that I wouldn't mind getting resin on. Now, since I'm making soap, it's like, if I get soap on it, it's just soap. And then, but I want to do kind of woodsy colors. But thank you. So yeah, I got a couple of greens. I was thinking maybe this kind of like darkish red color. Oh, hi, Mama. Oh, you're struggling to connect to the chat. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like you're here now, so that's good. And then I was thinking like a really, really light blue. I was thinking like a really light blue. Maybe not super light, but kind of like a brighter blue. And maybe, I'm debating whether I want to do that in the dirty pour itself or I want to do it separately. But also, I did a slight water discount, so I have like I'm using a little bit less water, and that's because I've realized that when I use the suggested amount of water, I end up with soda ash on top of my soap, which is kind of like this, just kind of a white film on top of the soap, and getting rid of a little bit of water, I did like a 10% discount. 10% discount of water makes it so that doesn't show up, but it also means that the soap's probably going to set up a little bit quicker. So I'm going to need to be working fairly quickly. So I'm debating whether I want to try and pour the blue separately or not. Oh! Well then, thanks. Thank you for subscribing for 3 months. That's very sweet of you. Gosh, made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at thinking about that. I'm debating whether I want the blue. I can't be mean to you today. Yeah, you get one free pass. That's how it works. That's how it works. I was debating adding like a dark blue as well. Actually, I have enough containers for it. Once a month I can't be mean to you. Should I add the dark blue or not? That's the real question. That's the real question. Might as well add the dark blue. Alright, so let's get our colors sorted out. I have my container of oils over here. I'm gonna grab it. Just a second, oops, I'm dripping oils on the table. Put that in there. It's a little bit damp on the bottom because I had it sitting over some hot water. So let me set it on here. But I've got my oils all melted. I'm gonna be guessing on a thing that's probably a bad idea to guess on, but I think I'll be okay. I've done this enough to kind of be able to guess. But my thermometer is out of batteries, or at least it's not working. I have a thermometer that I usually use to measure how hot the oils and the lye water are, because I want them to be within like 10 degrees or so of each other. Because you mix water and lye together and it gets very, very hot. Although honestly, I think it's actually, I did this about an hour ago. I mixed the oils and the lye up so that it would have time to cool down, and it's much cooler now. Oh, that is why I'm wearing safety equipment. That was actually the other reason I ended up dressing like this today, because I wanted something with long sleeves that wasn't going to get in the way. Just for a little added protection. Yeah, actually at the moment, I think the oils are warmer than the lye water, which is just fine. They're both like a little bit warm, but that's where I want them. I don't want them both scalding. It actually is in case the soap explodes. Well, no, it's not in case the soap explodes. This is just to protect me from splashing and all that sort of stuff. But the reason that I want them to be within 10 degrees of each other and also a little bit cooler so that the soap doesn't explode, because that's a thing that can happen. Yeah, if they're too different in temperature and they're too hot, I've never had it happen to me, but I've seen pictures online of soap volcanoes where it just like foams up really, really fast and makes all sorts of soap everywhere. Put that in just a second. But both of these are fairly cool. We should be fine. Like I said, I'm over here just touching the side of the bowl, and it's cooled off tremendously. But I do have... I can see... It was your best guess. It is because of that. It has a volatile reaction when it's really warm. I can see this message, Mama. The one that says, okay, that's weird. But I don't know. Huh. I don't know if you need to click off and click back onto the stream or something. I don't know if that would help or not. Just refresh it. But yeah, it's hard to know if your messages are going through or not since we can't see them if they don't go through. But I can see this one. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, we have our oils over here. So that's one container that we can use to mix things up in. Oh yeah. Nope, didn't get that one. That one didn't come through. But I've got my mixing bowls. Still debating on the dark blue. Wonder what's going on. That's very strange. Let's see, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a nice dark red. The kind of funny thing here, possibly, is that you guys have seen a lot of these pigments before. Ah, that's fun. Twitch is messing with you. Oh no. I can't remember how much pigment I need though. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, you guys have probably seen most of these pigments before because I have commandeered some of them for resin. Yeah, I think I want a bit of pigment because I want this to be fairly dark. Ah. If we need to add more, we can add more later. Oh, the pigment! So there's our dark red pigment. Set that off to the side. I'm thinking I'm going to add the green pigment because I think I want most of it to be this green to the main container. But we'll add some light green. I need another popsicle stick. Just a second, let me grab a popsicle stick. I have some over here. Alright. And we're going to do a little bit of light green. Wow, unprofessional. Yes, I do this for the professionalism. Can't you tell? I did make an actual overlay though. I don't know if you noticed or not. You're tired? Oh, got your vaccine. Oh, okay, like a tea house. Yeah, I went and sat down and did that yesterday. I'm like, this is a little bit better than just a weird black box on the screen. There we go. We'll do a little bit of green. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, that is exciting that you got your vaccine. Hopefully that means you can go out and see folks. Sometime soon. I'm gonna do a little bit of dark blue. I'm just gonna do a little bit of dark blue, I think. The light blue might stand out better if I don't do the dark blue. That's my real concern here. Let's do the light blue. Yeah, Korean fried chicken. So let's do this. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to add some white or not to make it lighter. Oh, now you're done. That's exciting. Like, I will, I don't know which one you got, but I will, like, give you a heads up that I felt awful the day after I got my second injection. So, like, take care of yourself if you can. I think maybe we can just go with I think maybe this blue will be bright enough, and I think we'll just not use this other blue. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, and I think I'm just going to try, I'm going to try not making it any lighter. And we'll see if this blue is bright enough with the green. And I think I'm going to not need this. We'll see how that goes. Oh, your second injection wasn't as bad as your first? So yeah, it's been different for everybody that I've talked to. But you have a little bit of space for Korean fried chicken in your stomach. Fair. Fair. Alright. We've got our colors. The other thing that I need to measure out is the scent. Like I said, I'm going to try mixing some things. We'll see how that goes. And I want about, how much is in this? I want about 1 point, I got Pfizer, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm going to need a bigger container than this. Just that. I need something to put my fragrance in. And the problem is that they will melt these cups. I made that mistake once. I guess, to be fair, it'll be fine for now, as long as I toss it out and don't leave it on the table like I did last time when I tried using one of these for the fragrances. But actually, that might just not be good anyways. But I want about 1.2 ounces. Yes, I want about 1.2 ounces, and I don't think that's going to fit in here. So, I might. I'm doing 2 pounds of soap, by the way. It's about 10 bars. It's about how much fits in my soap box here. Up in my soap box. Well, not that kind of soap box. I'm just thinking on this. Well, let's see. Let's see how much this holds. If I need to grab a second one, I can. I do need to figure out how much of each I want to do. Was it you this time? With me in my soapbox? Yeah, with the soapbox. Okay, I think I want it to mostly be the Alpine Frost. And like I said, I want 1.2 ounces or so. I found that about 0.6 ounces of fragrance to 1 pound of soap ends up being good. So I don't think I want half of it, but maybe a third of it. So about 0.4 of this. Oops. Tends to be a little bit of a mess. That's always unfortunate. Maybe we'll do 0.3. This one I think is a fairly strong scent, so that's fine. You also got Pfizer, hurt your arm a little bit. Only Saturday night fever is allowed. Oh dear, how did I get that red pigment all over the place already? This is what always happens. I always end up with a little bit of a mess. As long as it's not, you know, lye that I'm getting everywhere, it's fine. All right, there's about 0.3. I think this one. Yeah, well, we'll do these really even, I think. We'll do this one about 0.3 as well. So we'll go up to about 0.6. Okay, there's about 0.6. How do I do anything? That's fair. I mean, that has always been the case. Like, all of my arts and crafts projects have always been a mess. Just want to make sure. Okay, sorry, I was just double checking that these don't have any vanilla in them. These are from a soap making company, and so they actually say that, because the vanilla fragrance will discolor your soap. All right, there's 0.6. Let's do another 0.6 in the other two. And this one is kind of the smoky scent. I think I don't want as much of this. Actually, I don't think I have as much of this, so it's fine. Let's see what I got here. We'll just use all of that, I guess. My table's so clean, where's all of the colors and resin stains? Yeah, if that's a serious question, I'm at a different table. I'm actually, this is the table that's usually behind me on my streams. I straight up just moved the computer, and I have a tripod, and I just moved it back. That's why I'm all the way down here when I'm sitting now, because usually I'm at a standing desk. There's that one. That one's all used up. And let's do some of this one. I'm gonna go to about, whoops, that's what I'm saying. There we go, there's our mess. These things don't want to pour nicely. Yeah, that's probably good enough. That's probably good enough, even if it is mostly on the scale and not in the container. Yep. It's already starting with the red mark. You got tricked. You've been lied to. Yeah, to be fair, like that, getting pigment all over this table is not a new thing either, because this is the table that I've used for soap making in the past. Alright, this is going to be kind of fun to try and mix up. Just a second, let me get this out of the way. It smells very nice in here now. It smells very nice in here. Let me get my fragrances out of the way over here. Set them with my pigments. But yeah, don't worry, this table will be a mess shortly. You don't smell anything? Wait, here, let me. There you go. Then I'll just waft it in your direction. Let me see. I wonder if I can fit these in here. I might be able to, haha! Aha, I can fit all the fragrance in here. Like, almost exactly. Perfect. Yes, I am a comedian, obviously, yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I can, what does this smell like? How do I describe this? I don't know. It's kind of like a florally scent, but muted? I think I've gotten so used to the scent now that I can't smell it, which is fun. Let me set this out of the way. It is very, very full. I filled that way too full. Alright. So, we have, I think we've got our pigments, we've got our fragrance, we've got everything else, and I've got my oils here. Let me set these out of the way. Ooh, set them on this side. There we go. Everything's always backwards. There we go. We can focus on this. All of the oils are melted. Yeah! I finally made like a little bit of a border thing for all the stuff. So I don't just have a random floating black box in the middle of the screen for the chat. No, it's like a black box that's on top of something else. Alright, we've got that. I'm just gonna set it over there for now. I am going to turn the volume down in a moment. And that's because I'm going to be using this hand mixer. And it's a little bit loud. It's a little bit loud. Just a second, let me move a couple things out of the way so I don't knock everything over. Probably don't want all of that fragrance oil. Immersion blender, that's the name. And like whatever it's called, the thingy that I use to mix my soap. I don't remember what it's called. Alright, we've got all of our oils. They're warm, but you know, cooled off a bit. We've got our lye water, which has been sitting here for about an hour, and it's cooled off tremendously. It gets up to like 180 degrees Fahrenheit at least when you first mix it, but it's just warm to the touch now. And let me turn down the volume first before I pour this in, but just so you guys know why everything's gonna be kind of quiet. Please let me know if it's too loud, too. We're going to try and get this to a light trace, which is where it's all mixed together completely, but it's not like starting to set up too much. Actually, I think I'm almost there. You don't have any headphones? Oh, okay. Like my resin, I tend to overmix it a bit, just because I'd rather it be like overmixed. But honestly, I think it's looking pretty good. It looks like it's mixed completely. That's the main thing. I'm not doing like a ton of soap, so it's okay, but. Yeah. It's actually, that wasn't actually just water, that had lye in it, which is a very strong base. That's why I'm wearing the goggles and my gloves, is because it had lye in it, which I poured the lye into the water about an hour ago. Yeah, see, it's starting to get kind of thick now. You can kind of see. So we wanna start dividing this up into our different pots. And we're gonna have the majority of it's gonna be the dark green. Yeah, it's starting to thicken up already. And I haven't even added the and part of that's because I did slightly less water than normal. And part of it's just because that's how soap works. So we want to be working fairly quickly now. Yeah, it's kind of surprising the, oh, I'm still talking loud, sorry. It's kind of surprising the almost overlap between soap making and resin. Like they both kind of have that, you have all the prep and then like the actual work time goes pretty quick. Do I want all of that to be green? Let's add a little bit, we're gonna add a little bit more to this green. I have a habit of, and that's actually part of the reason, if you've ever seen like handmade cold processed soap, sometimes they'll have like funky like just kind of designs on the top, like actually I want to mix this one up first. I think they'll have kind of, no, I don't put them in the pressure pot. They wouldn't fit anyways. I will leave them sitting out on this table overnight before I can cut them. Okay, let's add a little bit of our fragrance, I think, as well. I don't actually know if this is going to make things set up quicker or not, too. That's another thing with... I'm just doing this kind of roughly. Majority is there. That's the thing with fragrances too, is that different ones can have different effects. So you never quite know. Yeah, I definitely need more green, I think, in here. Oops. Just so you can see. See, it's not very dark. I'm gonna add a bit more green. And also, you can't tell from where you guys are, but the soap is getting kind of warm too. There's a thing, oh, what is it called? Oh man, I just blanked on what it's called. Oh dear, what is it called when it gets really warm? Well, there's kind of like, when it's curing, it can get very, very warm, the soap can. And sometimes you want that to happen, and sometimes you don't want that to happen. A reason that you might want it to happen is it can make your colors more vibrant, depending on the colors that you're using. And a reason you might not want it to happen is because like one of your scents might not respond well to heat, and it might like burn up almost. I've done soap with honey in it before, and so it will get very, very hot because of the sugars. The sugars react with everything, and so I actually put that one in the freezer to cure, because otherwise it will kind of burn the honey that's in the soap, and it kind of crystallizes, which it doesn't really affect the integrity of the soap, but it makes it kind of crumbly, and it makes it darker. Yeah, I want this to be a darker color. The only sad thing, reaction, yeah, exothermic, yeah. Yep, it's called exothermic reaction in English as well. It's spelled slightly differently, but yes, it's also an exothermic reaction in English. Oh good, this is actually not setting up as quickly as I was worried it would. Ooh. Trying not to get all the soap on my containers. It's the same reason, like, there's a lot of overlap between this and resin, because same thing, it's like I don't want to get all of the gunky soap on all of my pigments. Oops, I just got that way up on the thing. I'm tempted almost to add a little bit of black to this to make it darker, but I don't know. add a little bit of black. I'm just trying to get all that pigment that I accidentally dumped onto the spatula. I think honestly I could add more green too. I don't have purple. I'm so sorry, I didn't make purple soap. Yeah, I do like making soap. No, I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna add more green to this. If I can get the container open, now that I have soap on my hands, we're gonna add a bunch more pigment because it needs more. It's not as bright as I'd like it to be. Woo! Try not to get mica powder up in the air. Oh, my colors aren't all purple. I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, don't worry. They'll all be just sticky by the end of the evening. I was gonna say end of the night. It's not night for me. It's like noon. All right. And the reason I'm mixing with this, with my spatula, and not with the hand mixer, because I don't want it to set up more. All right. Because like like you saw, that's a little bit of a better green. Let's mix our other green. See how that looks. This is supposed to be a lighter green, so I think this needs more pigment as well. Ooh. It's definitely a lighter green, but it's kind of yellowish. Part of that I think is because the green pigment is clumping up a bit, which happens. Need to smush some of that, get it worked out. A little bit of ricing. No, I think that's bubbles. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit yellowish. So let's add a little bit more of that green. I think we're gonna need to end up adding a bit of all the colors. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while, and I couldn't quite remember how much of the pigments I usually add. Oh my gosh, my hands are so slippery. Looks tan. Oh yeah, it does look kind of tannish. Yeah, it's a very yellowish green for me. Just gonna add a bunch more. To be fair, this isn't a very, everything looks kind of yellowish now, and hopefully the colors will, yeah, the camera never picks up the colors quite right. But everything is kind of yellowish at the moment. That happens. Hopefully things will kind of turn less yellowish as they cure, but yeah, you never quite know. There we go. It still looks kind of tannish for you guys, but it's a little bit more kind of a wasabi green. Hey, don't call it out. I'm not worried about it in resin, but don't particularly want it in my soap. All right. There's that green. I think it'll look more green when it's mixed with the other green as well. Alright, there's that green. Let's do the blue next. And this one I think is going to be actually pretty bright. Yeah, alright. And I wanted this one kind of light anyways, so if it ends up a little bit of a light blue, that's fine by me. There we go. Yeah, everything looks a little bit muted now. I'm hoping that as things, that's why things become a mess, because I just splashed soap across the table. Yeah, I don't really want to get this fresh soap on my skin. That's kind of the sad thing with like soap. So, you know, with resin, you know, I gotta wait 24 hours before I can see how things turn out. And it's the same way with soap. I have to let this sit overnight at least 24 hours-ish before I can cut it. So, you know, we won't see how it actually looks until tomorrow, the day after. somewhere in there. But the thing with soap is that you gotta let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks to cure completely. I'm glad I didn't have to do that with resin. But yeah, you can't actually use the soap for 4 to 6 weeks after making it. Alright, there's our blue. And then let's do our red. See how our little bit of red looks. Yeah, I added a lot of the red pigment compared to how much soap there is. So this one's actually very, very dark red. I think I need to add a lot more green just to match this red color, to be honest. Because that ended up dark red. It's blood, it's very blood colored, yes. So we're definitely gonna add more green color because, yeah, that's so vibrant compared to the green. The green definitely needs more. And like I said, I might add a little bit of black bloody soap. I made a vampire soap at one point that was in my shop, and it was black and it had like kind of like blood drips in it. That was a thing that I did at one point. All right, this is getting a little bit thicker. You can see it's getting kind of thick. So let's get that green mixed in. Added a bunch, so hopefully that'll, yeah, it's definitely looking more vibrant. I might, British humor, bloody soap, yes. Make some bloody soap, okay. Yeah, that's looking a little bit more vibrant. I think I might want to, I want to make it darker though. Actually, you know what? The method that I'm going to do is going to end up being a little bit more muted because I'm going to add the red and the green to it. And I'm going to do a dirty pour, like I said. And so, honestly, I think it might just be ready to go. Because the red's going to mute it a bit. And that was kind of the point of the red. So we'll add all of that stuff in. Set this off to the side for now. Let's add our green, our light green. Add that off over here. A messy mix and a dirty pour, yep. That's accurate. Yeah, if it's getting a little bit thicker. I am starting to, I didn't think about what I wanted to do on the top of the soap. Because there's lots of options there as well. Set that over here for now. And let's add our red. I'm gonna it's gonna look hopefully kind of brownish. I wanted kind of like a foresty sort of mix, and then I wanted a little bit of bright blue, and I think my blue's not bright enough either. We're gonna add a little bit more blue to that as well. Yeah, it definitely looks more brownish, I think, with the green. It looks very mossy in here. I'll show you in just a moment. It's a very kind of a earth tony sort of mix. But let's add more blue to this. Add a bunch more blue to this. Probably way too much blue, but it needs more. It's going to be easier with the smaller spatula, so we're just going to wipe that off. So I want this nice and bright. Let's see if we can get this a nice bright blue. Yeah, that's better. That's a nice bright blue compared to the kind of muted blue that it was before. I am still not sure if I want to add the blue separately from the other colors or if I want to add it to the dirty pour itself, because, you know, I could put it in the middle if I wanted to. It's a little bit thick now, I think, to do like a drop swirl, which is where you have your, you pour one thing and then you pour another thing on top, and it drops down into the other soap. But I could still do something with it. I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea. We're gonna pour that somewhat separately. But first, let's add a little bit of this. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna add a few dollops, just a few like little dollops of the blue. I think that's gonna be what I do. I'm gonna do kind of like just little spots of the blue in there. Kind of like little will-o wisps. That's kind of, I think, what I want to go for. I'm gonna go for like kind of little will-o wisps, and then we'll pour a little bit more on. It's getting kind of thick. The nice thing about the soap is that even though it's thick, like, I'm not trying to avoid air bubbles and stuff like I am with the resin. So we should be okay. But let's get moving along. You can kind of see how thick it is, which is kind of, look how thick it is. It's thick. Add some just bigger dollops of blue. Let's get the show on the road. Yeah, all right. Yeah, everything always ends up a bit of a mess. Ooh, that's getting thicker. I start scraping a bit. Yeah. I'm gonna tamp this down in a second, and we should be okay. But yeah, it's getting thicker. I like this blue. I think this is going to be a nice bright blue against the more earthy tones, which is what I wanted. But, you know, it's like I said, it's one of those things where I'm not going to know how it looks until tomorrow when I can actually cut into it. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to leave that last little bit because I want it, I think, green on top. So let's add the last of our blue and some little splorges, some little blue splorges, splots, splatters. Splatters is an actual word. All right, let's get that off the top. Like I said, I don't really want. Sorry, that might be a little bit loud. Apologies. I don't really want the blue on top, so we're gonna take the green and put that on top of the blue. I'll probably smooth that out a bit, and yeah, we could do some sort of oh, what's the word I'm looking for? We could do some sort of like glitter on top if we wanted to. That's actually something that, you know, is kind of unfortunate about the soap, is that I'm using all of these glittery mica powders and you don't actually see the glitter. So if we want any sort of glitter, we got to do it on top of the on top of the soap. So we could do some sort of like green glitter, or I mean, we could add whatever we want on top of the soap, to be honest. We could add some sort of floral if we really wanted to. I don't think I will. All right, there's our green and our blue. But let's see if we can kind of cover up the blue a little bit. That's kind of my goal here. I'm trying to kind of cover up the blue a bit with the green. I'm not too worried about it. You know me, I'm not really a perfectionist. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not. It's one of those things where if it ends up looking different than I expected it to, that's fine. I think that's what I mean by I'm not a perfectionist. It's like, because like I make dice, and in that case I'm like, I need these to be sanded perfectly, because I need them to be weighted well. But like when it comes to like pouring the dice and stuff, unless it's a commission or something like that, I'm just like, well, we'll see how it turns out. Maybe it won't turn out exactly how I planned it to, but it's probably still gonna be cool. All right, now I gotta decide if I want some sort of pattern on top. Ooh, if I could do some sort of like leaf pattern or something, that might be cool. Should we see if we can try to do some sort of like leafy pattern? How can I do that? Like, I wonder if we could do... Well... This will get cleaned up too, but let's see. I could sprinkle some gold. I could sprinkle some holographic glitter on there. I could, I feel like some sort of like leafy sort of shaped thing might be cool. So I might use this actually to try and do some sort of. That's not working so well. We can do something like this too, where we kind of work it up to one side and it's kind of like uneven on the top. That's the thing we could do. Something like that maybe. Knives. Are you saying I should have a knife pattern on top? Is that what you're saying? A whole bunch of soap on there, but I might actually, here a second here. So that's, I think, that. I like adding some sort of fun thing on the top. You could add, I'm gonna add a little bit of just, I'm gonna add just a little bit of shimmer on the top. I don't really like that, but that's okay. Probably would have liked the green a little bit better. No, that's not great. Those all have stuff on them. Well, that's okay. I'm going to use something else that might look familiar. It's my rubbing alcohol. And actually, it's a good idea to spritz this stuff down with rubbing alcohol, because that helps prevent the soda ash as well from forming on top, hopefully. Yeah, The gold might have been a bit. Now I'm just overdoing it. I think the gold's a little bit better. Well, that's okay. It's kind of we'll see how it looks on the inside. But that's pretty much it. It was a pretty short stream. To be fair, I did a lot of the actual prep work off camera. Like I said, I poured the all the oils together, melted all those down, and I did the lye water like an hour before the stream. But we're gonna let this sit here overnight, and then I will cut it up, and then I'll probably post photos of it on the Discord. But yeah, it's all made. Just let it sit here for 24 hours so that it can cure enough so that it gets hard enough that I can cut it, because it's still squishy at the moment. But thanks for coming and hanging out, guys. It's a short stream today, but we got what we wanted to get done. So I will be back on Wednesday with more resin stuff. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. I will hopefully see you guys on Wednesday. So bye. Have a good rest of your days.